So today we're going to go over using WordPress for new IDX clients. WordPress is one of the easiest ways to go about setting up the IDX client on a website. So let's get started with that. Let's go ahead and start by logging into WordPress. By now you should already have an email with your usernames and logins for the IDX Broker account. You'll want to pull that up as well. So for that, you'll go to the middleware.idxbroker.com website and log in. So we're going to start in WordPress by making sure that we have the IDX Broker Impress plugin installed. For new people who haven't downloaded and installed it yet, you'll want to go to Add New Plugin and just search for IDX Broker. And the first result you should see that comes up will be Impress for IDX Broker. So you go ahead and click Install Now. And then once that's installed, you'll want to click Activate. And as you'll see, it puts the IDX Impress logo button right here on the left-hand side in the WordPress dashboard. So let's go ahead and click on IDX Impress. And the first thing you'll want to do is get your API key. So your API key is going to be in your IDX Broker dashboard under Home and API Control, which is this section here with a little icon that looks like a lock. Your API key will be here, and you'll have the ability to revoke and create a new key as you need it, but that's something for more advanced troubleshooting. For right now, all you'll really need is the key, so go ahead and highlight it and copy it. And it'll bring it over here to the box where it wants the API key, paste it in, and click on the button next to it. It'll start this little download process where it tells you it's refreshing the plugin and the links and everything. And that will hook up the IDX Broker system to your WordPress account. The next step you would want to take after you've done this is you'd want to go ahead and create a page wrapper. I'm just going to pull up one of the search pages here. And you can see it's pretty plain, pretty blank. It doesn't contain any of the site design elements on it. So what we want to do is we want to get it to look like our website. So to do that, you'll use the wrappers, and the easiest way is to come in here in the IDX Impress under the initial settings, and under this section that says create the global wrapper, you'll want to give the wrapper a page name. This name is just specifically so you can identify it in your WordPress section under IDX Impress and wrappers. So we're just going to go ahead and call this one property search. And you can name it whatever you need to name it. It's really up to you and how you want to name these things for your site and for your customers. So once it's been created and you've got all that, you'll want to come into your IDX Broker dashboard and just make sure that it actually transferred it over. And you can see here that it set the dynamic URL for my dynamic wrapper, property search. And now, if I refresh the IDX page, there you go. Now, my IDX pages match my site design. All right. Now that's all well and good, but without having any of the pages linked in my menu for my home page, none of my clients are going to be able to search through the MLS listings or see any of my listings, etc. So what we'll want to start doing from here is we'll start by adding IDX page links to the menu. So first place you'll want to go is under Appearance and Menus. Okay, so we're going to add IDX pages to our menu so that people can get to them, search for properties, and so forth. So you'll go in here under Appearance and Menus in the WordPress dashboard, and you'll see that on the left-hand side there's a tab that says IDX Pages with a little down arrow. You click on that, it'll expand out. And the first place I always have people look is in the View All tab, because this will show all of the pages, not just the most recent pages that have been used by IDX Broker. So first thing I want to do is make it so that people can search on my page. So I want to add this advanced search to the menu for my website. And so what I'll just do is put a check mark next to advanced search and click Add to Menu. And you can see that it's moved over here into a tab. There's an expansion where I can give it a different label, add CSS classes if I need to, so that I can apply my site's CSS design to the link label if there's anything specific you're looking for. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and save the menu and go back to my home page, refresh it, and you'll see it showed up here. Now you might be thinking, what if I want more than one search? Well, you can do that, and you can of course format it any way you want, but some people find it easier to set up a drop-down kind of menu system for their searches. What they'll do, add one of these uncategorized categorized categories to the search. I'm going to rename it, or to the menu, I'm going to rename it search. Click and drag my advanced search page under that item. Oh, not sub-item. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to my IDX pages and also pull in my basic search and my map search. Go ahead and add those to the menu. Also underneath the search section, click Save. And then I will refresh my home page. You'll see now it's changed to search, and if I put my mouse over it, I get the different search pages that I can then click to and use the search from there. So that's the easiest way to go about adding the IDX pages to your WordPress, and that's by making the menu items at the top. So now that I've got that all in there, I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple more IDX pages to flush out my menu. For example, I want the contact page, which you can search for the pages here. And I want the user login page, because I want my leads to sign up and then be able to log into the account easily from the menu. So we'll go ahead and save that. Do a quick refresh just to check it out. All right. So now that we've got that up and running, the next thing to go over here will be just a little bit of information on how to make an alternative wrapper. So you can see that the pages here are set to full width, but maybe I want a sidebar on mine. Just real quick to answer the questions, there isn't a limit to how many custom pages you can put on your website through IDX. You can build as many as you need, and you can use the plugin on multiple sites. However, your IDX data is set specifically for a single domain. So if you're planning to use anything other than widgets and saved links on a separate website with a different domain, then you'll need to open up a second IDX Broker account, because they can only work for a single domain. I'll get back to the questions here in a couple minutes. We're just going to go over setting up a IDX Broker wrapper page that, if we want to change the way that it's laid out or something from the default, which is all that the Create Global Wrapper section of the plugin will do. It will only make you a wrapper using the default for the post types. So in this case, it's full width, but like I said, I might want a sidebar. So what I'll do is I will go into my WordPress account and I'll start by adding a new page. Now, the page title, this is going to be just like when you set up the wrapper. It's just specifically a name that you need to understand what the page is, and will help your customers understand that it's one of your pages. So in this case, I'm just going to call this ID Experts IDX Search. And then in this section here, you'll want to make sure that you're in the text editor, not the visual. So make sure that it says text, and then click on the Add IDX Shortcode button. And you'll see, if you scroll down a bit over here, there is an option for the IDX wrapper tags. So these are the tags that tell the IDX system when it looks at this page that this is where the IDX content goes in the site. So you go ahead and click on IDX wrapper tabs. It's going to be blank like this. That's okay. Just click Insert Shortcodes. You'll see that it puts the shortcode in here. And then on the right-hand side, you can see that there are templates. And this is for most WordPress themes will have this option in the Pages section. And so what you'll do is you'll just choose which one you want. In this case, I want a sidebar, so it's probably going to be the blog template. And then I'll go ahead and publish this and use it to change out, my wrapper in my IDX Broker dashboard. So I want to take this permalink address here, copy it, go into my IDX Wrappers Management, and that's under Designs and Wrappers in the Global category. And I'll just replace the original with this and click Save Changes. And then I'll just check and see that there we go. So yeah, so you'll basically just take your permalink from here, copy it into the dynamic URL section, click Save Changes, and you'll refresh your IDX page and you can see that the change is made. I've decided I don't like it very much, so I'm going to go ahead and just go back to what it used to be. There we go. It's back to the original look. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is the WordPress widgets. So the IDX system, or the IDX Impress plugin, will come with some widgets that work with the IDX system pre-built in it. So you'll go in your WordPress dashboard to Appearance and then Widgets. And what you'll see is on the left-hand side, you'll see your available widgets. These are all of the widgets that are something that you can use. You'll see most of them start with either IDX or Impress. And you can use them anywhere on your WordPress site for any of the WordPress pages that you have hosted on your side. Taking a look at the home page, you see it's kind of blank, doesn't have any information on it about any listings. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So I want to look for a widget that'll showcase my properties. So I'm going to grab this Impress Showcase widget here, and I will go ahead and put it into the home middle section, which on the page will be right in here. Go ahead and click Save. Refresh my home page. And you'll see the widget pop up there. It's kind of big, and we'll go over dealing with that, with changes to that here in a second. But if you ever want to change it out, if you decide that's not the one you like, just come back in to the Appearance Widget section, delete the widget you don't like, and then pull up something else that might be more to what you're looking for here. So I didn't like the size of my last one, so I'm going to decide to go with a carousel instead of a showcase. So I get a more condensed design with still a decent amount of listing data on the home page here. And then of course you can click on them and they'll go to the properties that they're linked to. So now that I've got that there, I might also want a search widget so that people can start searching for houses on my site immediately when they get to the home page. So in that case, I'm going to use this Impress Omnibar search and apply it here at home top. For now, I'm just going to leave its settings the way it is and refresh the home page. And then I've got a search widget. So the Omnibar is kind of a special search bar that only the WordPress clients will be able to use because it comes with the Impress plugin. And this is one of those search bars where you can start typing basically any information you can think of for a listing that you're looking for, city, state, zip code, listing ID, address, that kind of thing. And you can just click into it, click search, and from there it'll go. So now we've got a search bar on the front page and we can search with it. You might want to take a look and see what the settings are for that. So we're going to go in here under Impress Omnibar settings. Okay, so in here, under the Omnibar settings, you can set up custom fields to search through the MLS. So any of the advanced fields that you would normally find on the advanced search page, which I'll show you here real quick. So these are the advanced fields. They're different for every property type and every MLS. And sometimes you like your clients to be able to search for specific things in the MLS directly from the home page. In this case, we'll just say that I cater a lot to cyclists and so forth. So I want information on biking and fitness trails for certain communities to be searchable from the home page. So what I'll do is I will come into my Omnibar settings, and under custom fields, I'll type out the name of the field, which is community. So typically, if I start typing in the name of a field, it'll show up and auto-populate down here where I can click on it, and it will add it to that search bar. It looks like our test system doesn't have the fields added at the moment. So if you want to learn more about the Omnibar, just go to support.idxbroker.com, type in Omnibar, and it'll give you further instructions on how to customize the Omnibar for your site and for your searches. So for the moment, we're going to move into the IDX Broker dashboard. What I want to show you is sometimes the default widgets that we have set up for Impress and IDX in WordPress are set up by default, just like to pull in your listings or to be very specific on what they're going to show. But you might have something that you want to do custom. So let's just say that that's the scenario. You want to build a custom widget, and you want to be able to put that onto your home page through WordPress, but you'll note that the WordPress dashboard, there's no place to build an IDX widget in any of the Impress settings. So you'll go into your IDX Broker dashboard, you'll go to Widgets and Create. There's more on this information, building a widget and whatnot, in our Getting Started webinar, and on our support page as well. You can get more information on building widgets to do specifically what you want. At the moment, I'm just going to build a really quick widget so that I can show you how to pull it into the WordPress dashboard so you can use it. So in this case, I'm just going to build a quick showcase widget for a custom search. And I just want to pull in all properties in Miami, and I want them to be specifically have an image and be a ranch style. Let's just make sure that there are properties. All right, good. So this means that when I build my widget, I'll actually get properties back in it. You can check that when you build any widgets or save searches just by clicking on the View Results in New Window button. It's real easy, and again, there's more information on that on support.idxbroker.com under widgets. All right, so we're going to call this the Miami Ranch Style Homes widget. I want it to be 3 columns wide and have a maximum of 21 listings, so it can't be more than 7 rows. Build that widget. Go ahead and preview it here. So this is what it should look like when it gets posted on a page. All right, so then once we know we have a working widget, we'll go into our WordPress dashboard, and you'll see that under Appearance Widgets, it's not just going to be automatically there. It should be right in here, but it's not. So to get that to come in, we'll go into our IDX Impress plugin, Initial Settings, and click Refresh Plugin Options. Once those have refreshed, we can go back into Appearance Widgets. And we should see it. Oh, showed up here. So it showed up under IDX Miami Ranch Style Homes. So we can go ahead and pull that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my home middle section. We're just going to call it Miami Ranch Style Homes for the widget title, same as we've named it. Click Save, and then I can go ahead and look at my home page, and you see they showed up right here under that title. Now the same thing goes for saved links. Saved links, of course, are a little different than widgets in that they're not something you put on a page, but rather they are a page that you link to. So we're just going to go ahead and create one of those real quick. And it's just going to be exactly the same. Got ranch has image. We go ahead and give the page a name, which will be Miami Ranch Style Houses. And here you'll get the option when you build a saved link to put in SEO information, the description, which is the part that shows up under the link on the search engine, and then the tags and keywords, which are specific to your market and area. These are things you can go back in and edit after you've created a saved link. We're just trying to create a saved link now so I can show you how to put it onto an IDX or onto your WordPress site. So we're going to go ahead and save and manage the links. And you'll see that it shows up here. Now, if you go into WordPress and let's say we want to go ahead and put a link for it in our menu. So we'll go to Appearance Menus, look under the IDX pages, see if we can find it. There's this one, but that's not the one I made. So let's go back into Impress Initial Settings, click Refresh Plugin Options. And go back to the menus. Go ahead and search for that again. Alright, so in this case, for some reason it won't pull in my saved link, which is an issue I will look into, but it does give me a chance to show you the one other way to add links to your WordPress menu without having to rely on the plugin having updated the database on the WordPress side. So if you actually go to preview this saved link that we've created, which you would do by clicking on this icon that looks like an eye, it'll bring up the page, and you can see in the address bar what the URL is for that page. So you want to copy that, go back into your menu section, choose the custom links option, and in the URL box is where you'll paste the address for that page, and then in the link text you'll give it a name so that it can show up in the menu. And then you will go ahead and give it its name, so we'll say the Miami Ranch Style Houses. Click Add to Menu, save the menu options, and then back on the home page you see Miami Ranch Style Houses. And so that'll also link back to that same saved link with the results on it. Alright, so you might have noticed that when we were on the IDX pages, they don't have the Miami ranch style houses in the menu. So this is going to be where you're going to want to clear out your wrapper cache to get that to show up. So when the IDX wrapper system sets a wrapper, it will go out every 3 hours and check to see if there's been any site design changes to the site and apply them to the IDX pages. At the moment, it hasn't reached out to do that, so it doesn't know that there's been an update, but we want to see it right away. So we'll go into our IDX dashboard, and you'll click on Designs and Wrappers. Make sure you're in the Dynamic Wrapper section. You'll see here in this blue bar there is a link that says Clear Wrapper Cache. Click that, and then click Save Changes. And if you go ahead and refresh your IDX page after that, you'll see it show up in the menu. So you're not going to necessarily want to go around refreshing the plugin all the time. I suggest if you are going to be making saved links or widgets for your site, that you'll want to build them all out first and then do the refresh plugin to place them on the site. This will just keep your API calls down, and you won't get any error messages about having used too many calls in an hour. And the same goes for site designs. I would make all of my site designs and see them on the support or on my pages that are hosted on my side, and then apply them to the wrapper by clearing the wrapper cache just the once and having all the changes apply to the IDX pages. All right. So that pretty much covers the basics of getting started with IDX Broker and WordPress. So let's go ahead and move on to a few question and answers. All right, so there's a lot of questions about themes specifically. whether or not they're supported by the IDX system or not, or which one's the best. So really, there isn't a best theme. There are plenty of themes out there on WordPress that can be used with the IDX Broker system, except for maybe themes that are set up specifically for one of our competitors. So a different IDX service, they could potentially have scripts in them that may interfere with the way IDX Broker works, or vice versa. Most WordPress themes will work with the IDX system. However, there are some that are built specifically for IDX Broker. You can find them with our developer partners who build themes for WordPress. If you go to the idxbroker.com website and scroll to the bottom in the gray footer, there is a link for that. If there's anything for a specific theme that you want to know, if you're having problems with a specific theme, email our support staff, help@idxbroker.com, and they can look into it and let you know if there'd be any issues or not. But for the most part, a majority of the WordPress themes are going to work just fine. The issues really come down to plugins, site builder plugins like Divi or Virtual Composer does have a few conflicts with our system. Just the add IDX shortcode button it just won't work when Visual Composer is turned on a specific page. But if you turn off Visual Composer, you can use the button. We've also got a list of all the shortcodes that we can send you if you need it, so that you can type them in by hand. So there are workarounds for that. But for the most part, yeah, most WordPress themes are going to work. So the IDX Broker subscription will not include any WordPress themes. IDX is specifically a web application company. We do have a sister company, Agent Evolution, that builds WordPress themes that work with our system. But we don't personally, like here at the IDX Broker side, we don't do any web design. Tips on how to tips on how to track user activity. One of the best ways really is to find yourself some usage tracking and conversion tracking plugins or web applications that can help you keep track of that. The IDX Broker system has some basic traffic information. You can see it. Let's see here. It'll show up under Home Traffic Stats, and it gives you kind of a basic idea of the total number of hits on pages in your system. For example, for us, we've got these listing pages that we've been clicking on today. You'll get raw traffic, which will show you IP addresses and whether or not that person is a lead. If they're a lead signed up with you, their names will show up here under lead name, and it'll show you what sites they've been to. It'll give you total hits for the IDX pages, but it's not going to give you all the activity you're looking for. So I would definitely look into plugins or web applications to handle that particular side of things. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can email me and the rest of the support staff at help@idxbroker.com. And we will have future webinars at idxbroker.com/idx_webinar. If you have any other questions specifically about today's webinar, please feel free to email us, help@idxbroker.com. And also check out support.idxbroker.com. That's our support website. And learn.idxbroker.com, which is our site with all our tutorial videos, webinars, tips and tricks, and the like. Thank you all very much for being here, and hope to see you again.